3 weeks from Netflix, 2 title matches, only one review on YouTube that's gonna be this good, brother. It's Fog Wrestling, it is Monday Night Raw. 16th of December, 2024. Cards on the table. Let's talk about it. Let's play Russian roulette with that nose of Triple H and get stuck straight into it.
Well, if we were playing Russian roulette, I would want to load up the gun with just more than one bullet, to be honest. This show was garbage.
No empty chambers?
Nah, no empty chambers, man. Just an empty show. Weird. It just, the longer it went on, the worse it got, and the main event sums it up. Judgment Day versus the War Raiders for the tag titles. The same tag titles that can't even get a sniff of a premium live event match. You know why? Because they're fucking garbage, they're irrelevant, but now Triple H just puts tag titles in main events on Raw and SmackDown to pretend that they're meaningful. See, if these belts meant something, they'd be defended on the premium live event. They'll never defend it on the premium live event, and it's because they're worthless. They don't matter. They're a throwaway set of tag titles. Having these belts doesn't make you a champion. I mean, you're fucking holding. You've got the same thing we all have around our waist. You know what I mean, a belt holding up your pants. That's about it. At the end of the day, these belts are garbage. Same with the women's tag titles. How many times has tag titles been? I'm pretty sure the tag titles were on one pay-per-view when the Bloodline were going for them. Other than that, no.
Yeah.
And I think the Raw ones might have been when the Judgment Day were going for them. So I think the SmackDown and Raw tag team titles are both, and they were both fairly soon after Mania.
No, you're right. It feels like so lower mid card. You know what? Was the main event awful? No, but I mean, it's just, you're right. It's not even mid carders, man. It's like, see if it at least kicked off the show. You'd be like, you know what? Decent start to the show. New tag champs.
Yeah, same's going to happen with these women's mid card belts. I guarantee you, they will be rarely ever seen on a premium live event. And well, see if the pay-per-views were brand split, if they were like brand, what do you call it? Brand,
Exclusive?
Whatever. Brand exclusive, then you could almost understand, right, well, maybe they do need a separate set of belts for each show, but look how many belts they've got in the main roster alone. 2 world titles, 2 mid-cards, 2 tag teams, 2 women's, and then 2 women's. So that's 10 belts alone before you think about any other potential belts. I know there's a speed belt. I think that's about it. But, so there's 10 belts. 10 belts that they have. And when you look at WWE, they only do 5-match premium live events unless it's Mania or SummerSlam. So you've got 10 belts. That means if every match on the card is a title match, you're still missing, half the belts are still missing the show. Then what about feuds that don't have belts on the line? Like a CM Punk Drew McIntyre that should have main evented, by the way. Do you know, it just doesn't work having all these belts.
Doesn't work having all these belts, but at least the War Raiders got belts, and you know what? They can hold up their big saggy stomachs, damn it.
They can. They've won. Good for them. Honestly. They've won due to Damian Priest, but I tell you who didn't win the night. The viewers watching this. I like CM Punk, but he came out and it was just the same old kind of promo, half edgy, half kayfabe, half legit real. Oh, Seth Rollins, he's a CM Punk fan. I failed by being his trainer because look at him. He couldn't survive what Drew survived against me. Then he says Seth came out in the crowd. Punk says Seth belongs in the crowd because just like everybody else, he's a CM Punk fan. Seth said he doesn't mind being in with the fans and he can do something that CM Punk hasn't done. That's main event WrestleMania. And we've heard that line before as well. Then they started brawling. I don't know, man. It's just garbage.
It is garbage. You know what's not the most garbage thing about it is it's this like modern thing on wrestling of rewriting history. Like Seth Rollins is like, oh, you left Phil, and I put this company on my back. And I carried it to the promised land. You just didn't though. Like I'm not going to say Seth Rollins, right, for a lot of years hasn't been a main offender because that would be a lie. He has been. But there's only a few guys that can turn around and say that. He's not one of them.
Do you remember in the WWE 2K games like a few years ago, Universe mode, you had matches and then you had promos that you could book in between? Mm-hmm. And the promos were so formulatic that one guy would give his insult, then the other guy would come back with his, and then the next, and it would just be a constant trade off.
Yep.
You say something, I say something. That's what wrestling is now. Doesn't it feel so cookie cutter? It feels so fucking forced and fake. I know this is predetermined, right, and it's not a real show, but it doesn't feel real, doesn't it? It feels like, right, you've got your turn. You say something edgy about me, then I'll say something edgy about you, and we'll see who can say the edgier thing. It's fucking lame.
It's fake with, with doses of reality. That's what it is. See, back in the day, man, everything flowed nicely, and it felt like you were getting, but no, it's weird, right? I feel like now the only way they try and make it real is if they actually incorporate, the actual person playing them into it. Look how real the Undertaker made it look, but he never gave us any sort of glimpse of Mark Calloway. You know what I mean? Till that Hall of Fame speech.
There is no characters now, man. There's really not. These guys are all just playing themselves.
Yeah, that's my point, though. It's like, that's not... it fucking sucks, man. It is what it is, you're right.
It's just like two random guys fucking having an argument on Twitter or something like that. But in real life.
Putting Monday Night Messiah, or Freaking, or, the
Slayer, the King Slayer.
The Monday Night Delight. It doesn't really... It's the same Seth Rollins has had the same gimmick for about 10 years. It's just been a difference of heel or face.
Yeah.
And he's dyed the black out of his hair, or the yellow, or the blonde, whatever you want to call it. But you're right, this is just repetitive. And see Punk and Rollins, see before you know it, it'll be like McIntyre and Punk, where you just want it at the end. And it's barely even begun. So, it's what it is. But
even with Punk and Drew, I thought the promos a lot of times were just the same old shite.
Yep.
You insult me, I insult you. You insult me, I insult you. Not a fan.
No, they got into a big brawl. You've got Adam Pearce just screaming, Seth. I want my 500 jobs. But I can't stand Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. It feels like every week, man, these two are just interrupted. Like, they're sending out the 40 security guides to get battered. I know what they think. See when they send the 40 security guys out for like Brock and Taker, man, I can accept it. See when they send them out for Diddy, man. CM Punk, who's fucking proven, by the way, that he can't even fight one-on-one. But he's battering 40 security guards.
It feels like every week, and sometimes it happens more than once. Doesn't matter whether it's Raw or SmackDown. You get a brawl that leads to fucking security coming out and breaking up, and you've always got Nick Aldis there, or you've always got Adam Pearce there. First of all, see back in the day when wrestling was good, let's go with Ruthless Aggression Era, for example, because we're currently watching that. See when you got brawls, the brawls tended to end when one guy put down the other opponent. Yep. But you know what I think it is now? I think it's because they want to do 50-50. Yep. If they get separated by security, then nobody really lost it. So that's, to me, I think that's the first garbage thing.
I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it if it's, a one-off. See...
No, but back in the day, when wrestling was good, see if two people got into a fist fight, first of all, it didn't get interrupted unless there was like a storyline reason for someone to come in and interrupt.
The heel authority figure.
And
we don't even have that anymore.
And it would normally end when somebody, beat down the other, or maybe the heel got the upper hand and then ran away, or the face was getting the upper hand and the heel retreated or whatever. So there would normally, it would end with the two people brawling, not with security. And how many times did Eric Bischoff come in to stop a brawl? Unless it was like the world title picture or something to do with Austin that involved him because he was feuding with Austin. Same with McMahon. See when McMahon was the chairman. I know he's always been the chairman, but see when he had the chairman character, how often did McMahon come out in the 98 and split up feuds between guys that had nothing to do with him?
Okay, exactly. He wanted guys that created money, created controversy. And
see if Ken Shamrock and Farouk were beating were fighting. Is McMahon going to come out and try and break that up?
Wrestling's at its best when you've got a heel authority figure and you've got the babyface getting come up.
The only time McMahon it's like when it was Austin and Tyson, and McMahon doesn't want to jeopardise.
And I remember he didn't. Yeah, Armageddon 2000. He didn't want the 6 guys injuring each other for the big match. I remember that, and they all came in and did the finishers to him. Great moment, great segment. But it's like, hit me with this, right? When was the last time across all of wrestling we had a heel authority figure like running the show?
Probably John Laurinaitis.
Aye, yo, but I'm talking AEW as well. Never had one, right?
Well, I don't think AEW's ever really had one. I know they installed
but that's my point.
Daniels, like, but
And then I look at TNA, honestly, maybe 5 years ago they had someone, but see, for the most part, there hasn't been a heel authority figure, well, since the authority, like 2013, 14, 15, whatever, right? I mean, we are approaching nearly 10 years across the entire wrestling landscape without an authority figure, a heel authority figure. You go back to the 2000s and the 90s and the 80s, maybe not the 80s, but, look at the 90s, Bischoff, right? McMahon, all these heel authority figures, even like heel managers, like at the top of the card. Where's that now?
I think shows run better with heel authority. Honestly, I don't think there's much legs in a face authority figure. It's like when Austin and Bischoff with the co-GMs, just made sense, didn't it, for Bischoff to win over. The guy with the person with the longest face authority figure role would be Teddy Long.
And he made it. No, but no, it helped him. It was, you're going one-on-one with the Undertaker player. It was almost like he was that much of a heel to the heels. It worked.
You know what I mean? I was
he made like JBL's life hell. He made guys like that life hell. It's like, you're right though. The face doesn't have a lot. Like, see Bischoff, man. There's a reason why he was a heel for pretty much the whole run.
Yeah.
McMahon, there's a reason why he was heel for most of his run. It's like Stephen McMahon is so much better as a heel than a face.
Yeah, anyway, let's just move on, because this show wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Finn Balor wants to know why the Judgment Day left him high and dry at Saturday Night's main event. Liv said they believed in Finn, and when they listened to Finn, they win. But they didn't win, so there you go. They're mocking Finn. Finn's not happy about it.
I know that really bad look, man. You've got Raquel Rodriguez about half a foot taller than everyone else here. Like, what happened?
Yeah,
this is the main group on Monday Night Raw. See in 2003, do you think Evolution are going to be hanging around with some woman? I mean, first of all, you'd have to be about 6'7" or like 6'9" to be an entire fucking half a foot taller than Evolution. But it's like, it just doesn't work. And Liv Morgan's not even that tall, man. She's like the same height as the other four.
I think she was wearing like big, massive platforms, but whatever.
Well, it's Raquel Rodriguez. Well, you try. Hold on, no. Let's put a bit of respect on Liv Morgan's name here. You trying to tell me the likes of JD Madonna and Finn Balor aren't wearing platforms?
They are, but fuck me, she was wearing massive ones.
I know, but come on.
I mean, Finn Balor's
She's a woman.
Finn Balor's probably like 5'8", 5'7".
On a good day.
Liv's like 5'2".
Fucking line starts behind me. Balor's at the age where he's losing fucking inches.
I don't know, man.
And he can't afford to.
Carlito, someone's kneecapped him or something.
Right. I think someone's bloody ripped out the Adam's apple of Joe Testore. WWE, Raw Netflix, kicks off at the HQ this Wednesday.
See, to me, I don't think this guy's a bat. I think he's good at delivering. He doesn't really botch. I think he's got a decent voice, but for me, it's more like a newsreader or something.
Yes, see if you want a guy to be sincere, like, see if this is the...
scores or something, like NFL scores or some shit like that.
If this is the guy, the first show after 9/11, and you want it to be, like, as serious and as sincere as possible, this guy's probably the man for you.
Yeah, like, see if there's, I don't know, if there's a guy that reads out NBA scores or NFL scores or something like that, then... I think the guy, but see, in a professional wrestling, I think you need to have a bit of character about you. You need to be hyped. You need to be pumped. You need to have something. And I don't think this guy's got it.
No, seeing it pans to him and Barrett, I'm not even kidding. It's like, you have to, like, open your ears extra to hear this guy. He, like, mumbles. And see when McMahon, right? This guy would have been sacked after a week. McMahon wouldn't have stood for this guy's shit.
I want McMahon to come back just to get it right up Michael Cole.
No, seeing WWE these days, right? It honestly feels like the only way for you to get fired is if you break like the code of conduct in such a way where they can't keep you, or if you get like a false rape accusation against you, something like that.
Right. Well, I mean, I'd release half of them.
I totally agree, but. Looks like it's going to be Seth frickin' Rollins against CM Punk at Netflix. So, is what it is. Decent match. Thought the segment between Drew McIntyre and Seth was alright. But we'll see how it goes. Braun Breaker against Ludwig Kaiser up next. Ludwig Kaiser slapped him last week. pretty much what led to this match. Braun Breaker wins. See Ludwig Kaiser, they've tried to push him in the last couple of months because he doesn't want to be Gunther's nipple piece or whatever. And it's like, he loses every match. And doing that, you're never going to get over.
He'd be better just coming out with Gunther and picking up the win for your manager or something like that. Because
He comes out with his theme song.
yeah, and you notice he always comes out to support Gunther, but the Imperium's just, they should be split up at this point. They're not a real faction.
Yeah, it's like,
Two-man band.
if you want to just pull the trigger and have this guy speak for Gunther every week, then go ahead, but you're right. I mean, what's the other guy doing? Giovanni Finci.
You know released yet, no?
No, he's still in the company. But anyway, Braun Breaker retains. Rey Mysterio, who's wearing all pink, tells the New Day that you're not allowed to be in the locker room because of how you treated Big E.
No, I don't get it. Like, why did the New Day turn up tonight? Why are they trying to find a locker room when they didn't have a match? Drew McIntyre, what was the point of him turning up to Raw tonight? Oh, we seen him walking about backstage. Didn't have a match. Like, see, back in the day, like, see when the top stars were there, they were there for a reason. They were going to commit to the ring or they were going to have a match.
Yeah.
See, nowadays, you get the top guys and it's like half of them are just hanging about backstage. Like, no purpose.
Maybe they're there to tape next week's show.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not supposed to tell it. Like, what was Drew doing? Did Drew just turn up to hope that he could bump into Seth Rollins so he could have a word with him? Did the New Day just turn up tonight just so they could get kicked out of a locker room?
No. It's fucking ridiculous.
They want to change, but it no made sense if they had a match. And maybe they had the match in their clothes and they were complaining how they couldn't get changed or something like that.
No. I see another thing, right? So Roman Reigns...
No, could they not give the New Day a match where they just finish it in 2 minutes and they win in their street clothes? But you know what? I knew they were going to do see this New Day thing. They're going to drag this out for fucking weeks, possibly months, where the New Day just turn up, people walk away from them, people don't want to know them backstage, and they commit to the cut promos and the crowd boo them and they don't say nothing. That's what you're going to get.
Yep. Nice. But
Slow, boring, and dragged out.
it was confirmed that Roman and Solo tribal combat match at Netflix 6th, January 6th, and also Punk Rollins. Do you not think this is so bad for WWE? It's like this news broke about a week ago. You're going to get these two matches, and you get the exact thing that broke. Do you know like everything is just so predictable? Everything.
Stale and boring and just nothing exciting, nothing new.
See these two matches, big matches. I'm not going to lie, they are. But it's like we should be getting these matches every week anyway. See, when you're in an era of wrestling that pales in comparison to previous ones, one of the key reasons for me is that see the actual people who are decent, they never face each other on free TV. You know what I mean? And then by the time you get to these pay-per-views, it's like, like see Roman Reigns and Solo. I know Roman Reigns only got back at SummerSlam, whatever, but it's like feels fucking overdone already, doesn't it?
Yep.
100%. It's like Solo's been buried about 10 times since then. It's like there's no way Roman just doesn't beat him. Then Dominic, Liv come out.
Unless The Rock.
Potentially
something to do
with the
with it.
megaphone. I am the greatest woman champion of all time. Rhea Ripley comes out looking more mannish than ever. Basically just gets in her face and calls Dominic Mysterio a little chicken tender slut. It's like, do you know, this is just demeaning men. Could you imagine if Dominic Mysterio called her a slut?
Never. We'd never have.
Never. And I mean, fucking call her I think he'd call her a man before he called her a slut, like. But it's just like burying Dominic Mysterio here. That's all it is. And then, like, that's it. That's your wee thing gone. These two are going to face each other. Who's going to win?
This has been dragged out.
No, they're fucking dragged out. You bet your bottom dollar. What would have happened if Rhea Ripley never got injured around Mania last year?
No, I still would have dragged it out.
Earlier this year. Who knows what would have happened? Anyway, right. Drew McIntyre and Sammy get into a brawl as Seth Rollins was leaving the arena. Why was Seth Rollins leaving the arena? What's going on here?
Don't know.
Fucking Drew McIntyre. See when Drew buried Sammy on Saturday night's main event, why are they still fighting with each other?
Yeah, that should have been it.
Drew's like 1 down, 4 to go. Well, it's not 1 down, mate. Looks like it's 1 each. Because what's happening here?
Yep, just boring.
Fucking, it's like, there is no 1 and done anymore. It's like, just fucking, they've just got to keep it going, and then this whole Miz and Paul Ellering, the AOP, and the other prick Cross. It's like, how long's this been going on, man?
The Miz teaming up with, and then next week, Miz has to take on Dexter Lumis. Because once How much more interesting was that though when Dexter Loomis kidnapped the Miz back then?
Well, down. It was. How long ago was that? Like 2 years ago?
A year ago, I think.
Rolling about under the ring and shit. Right, second match. Raquel Rodriguez, Caden Carter, and Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark wins. Wrong decision for me. I'd have went Raquel Rodriguez.
Stark's normally a decent name, but not when it's got Zoe in front of it. Just cannot stand Zoe Stark. Don't like Caden Carter either. I don't know. Just
Not very honourable, was it?
I think Raquel should have won, but she didn't.
No, absolutely not. R-Truth then like, oh, that was a brilliant wee commercial you guys did, Alpha Academy. Then a guy whose stock has dropped big time, Chad Gable, because then he's like, you're a clown show, you're pathetic. I'm going to take you out, my own creation, starting with you, Akira Tozawa.
Yo, how much better is it when McMahon wants to kill his own creation?
I'm going to inject it with some poison.
See, when it's Chad Gable, like it's not got the same feeling to it.
No. Yo, see when Netflix comes around the corner, right? These guys, right, are lucky it's going back to 3 hours.
Aye.
Because see with like Cena and The Rock Mania season, they nah. I don't know what's going to. But then Netflix is weird, right? It's like I have no idea how it's going to work. It's like not much stuff is actually live on Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, how do people flick the chat? Do you not feel like if someone stops watching Raw on Netflix, that's them done for the night, sort of thing? I'm not saying you can't go back, because of course you can go back, but you don't feel like it's easier on TV when you're flicking between the channels compared to Netflix?
No, definitely. How's commercial breaks?
No, because put it this way, right? Say you put on Raw, right? January 6th, The Rock kicks off, Cena interrupts him, and Stone Cold comes out for some reason. That's brilliant. Back for commercial break. It's the War Raiders against the Alpha Academy. So what you do is,
If you're going to watch something else on Netflix, it could be like 40-minute episodes.
you hit back. You're on episode 9 of season 5 of fucking Breaking Bad.
Yeah, like, I'm going to watch it.
Hank's just found out Walter's Heisenberg. Are you going to get 10 minutes into that episode and go,
Well, I need
you
to
know
find
what?
out who's winning that War Raiders
No, you know,
match.
you're just not going to do that. So, I think that's a problem with Netflix. But you know what? Fucking give me Heisenberg over this shite. Because he sells the blue stuff and Triple H sells the shite stuff. The brown stuff.
Am I the only one that thinks Raquel Rodriguez looks way better than Rhea Ripley?
Yep.
I think she looks more feminine. I don't know.
No, she does. Well, but see when they did that thing a couple of weeks ago with her and there were all the back shots. Oh, look at the back shots. Look at the back shots of Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez. No, but see with like the purple headband she's got, she looks like a fucking like a Fatos member or something.
It's a cool look.
Yep. But for whatever reason, she didn't win the match. The New Day pretty much leave, but during this whole segment, we hear Carrie saying, get her hand jammed in between 2 production crates by Pure Fusion Collective. And a problem with this is that they taped the match previously before this show even began. So you knew this.
Yeah,
Work at it.
yeah, I don't know. But I can't even explain it.
No, but this is the problem with tape stuff, man. It's like SmackDown got taped, right?
What I think they've done is, I think they taped half of next week's Raw before this week's Raw went live.
Which is absolutely
And then
mental.
I think they've taped the other half. I think they've taped the other hour after the live Raw finished.
to try and space it out.
When we were watching Raw live, there was already matches for next week's Raw that were spoiled. And,
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. I mean,
It just doesn't work, man. SmackDown, they taped this week's last week, right? And Saturday Night Main Event was yet to come, which means that there's going to be no mention on SmackDown of Cody Rhodes or Kevin Owens unless they, put another pre-tape shit. See this tape stuff, giving them time off for Christmas for what? The lowest fucking ratings since God's Green Earth.
You reacted to SmackDown spoilers. What was on it?
It's Carmelo Hayes defeated Braun Strowman.
Oh, aye,
who,
Christmas. Aye.
who came out dressed as Santa Claus. Johnny Gargano defeated Alex Shelley, I think. The Bloodline won a 6-man tag against LA Knight, Andrade, and Apollo Crews. Fucking hell.
So wait, the next SmackDown back then's what, the 28th?
Aye, something like that, yeah.
And that'll be live.
I think, fuck, I wouldn't bet money on it, like.
How are they taping it?
Well, maybe it must be live, you're right. Or it could be a best of edition.
It could be a best of edition, probably will be.
What, giving them fucking 3 weeks off at Christmas, man. They don't deserve it. They deserve fucking X-Pac or Randy Orton to shite in their stocking. It's not good enough. Right, but yeah, just ridiculous. Right, Judgment Day against the War Raiders. War Raiders win. Damian Priest was disguised as a cameraman or something.
I had a feeling because how else can this match really main event Raw unless something big's happening?
Yeah.
Now, of course, like, something could have big happened, I guess, with the Judgment Day winning, but I guess this furthers the Finn, Damien shit. But I mean, how long's that been going on for as well?
I know.
I mean, come on.
Like, when's that end? It's just... I don't even know what to say.
Well, the
man.
Finn Damien stuff's probably been going on as long as the Liv Morgan.
But no, it's
stuff.
it's cringe about this though, right? See this feud between these two. It's like a lot of mini feuds that are probably going to last into the Rumble. See these two. Who's got a hope in hell of winning the Royal Rumble out of these two? No one. I mean, that's your answer. 240-something guys going up against guys in their 40s that are actual megastars.
No, I mean you could argue with it. The people coming back, these two would have outside shots, like, but there's one of 3 men I think winning the Rumble.
It ain't these two.
Possibly Reigns if he's in it, 1 or 4.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Absolutely. Anyway, guys, that is your Raw review. It's rating time.
Tell you what, look, it's got potential to be the best Rumble in absolute years. See if you get down to the final 4 and you've got Rock, Cena, Punk, and Reigns.
That's if it is, though. Right, I'm giving it a 2 out of 10. I'm debating a 3 there, but I'll give it a 2. It started alright and it just nosedived.
Alright, you know what, I'll give it a 2 as well. Just not really, not interesting, just boring from start. Only 3 matches as well.
Yeah, it's poor. Anyway, folks, till next time, your thoughts down below, and peace.